In this video, I want to have a look at adding and subtracting integers. Now, obviously you can do this on your calculator, but I want to have a look at how we can do it without your calculator. And to do it, we're going to use number lines to help us be able to visualize it. So we're just going to jump straight into some examples. So our first example asks us to figure out -5 plus 8. So the first number in our question is always going to tell us where we're starting. So our first number is -5. So that means we're starting here at -5 and we're going to add 8. So if we're adding 8, that means we're going to move 8 places to the right. So when we're adding, we're going to move to the right. Or we're adding a positive number, we're going to move to the right. So if we move 8 places, we'd move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can draw in your little jumps if that helps you count them. And that tells us that we're going to end up at 3. So -5 plus 8 is equal to 3. Our second example is 6 plus -2. So same thing, that first number tells us where we're going to start. So we're going to start here at 6. Now when we're adding, we normally move to the right. But because we're adding a negative, that means we're going to move to the left instead. So we're going to move to the left 2 places and we're going to end up at 4. So when we have a plus minus right next to each other like that, it actually is the same as just writing 6 minus 2. So a plus minus right next to each other is just the same as a minus. And then 6 minus 2 gives us that 4. So adding a negative number is just the same as subtracting it, and we end up at 4 for that question. So just have a look at a sort of similar question. This one is 3 plus -4. So we're going to start at 3. And because we're adding a negative, we're going to move to the left. So we're going to move 4 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to end up at -1. So you can say that that would be the same thing as if that plus minus was just a 3 minus 4 would give us -1. Our fourth example is a subtraction. So again, the first number tells us where we're starting. So we're starting here at 2. And when we subtract, we move to the left. So we're going to move to the left 4 places. And we're going to end up at -2. So 2 minus 4 is equal to -2. Our fifth example is -5 minus 3. So we're going to start here at -5. And because we're subtracting 3, we're moving 3 places to the left. And we're going to end up at -8. So here's where it starts getting interesting again, when we've got a negative and a negative right next to each other. So if we have a negative and a negative right next to each other, that's going to be the same thing as a plus. So we're starting at 1 here for this question. Now normally if we were subtracting something, we'd move to the left, but because we're subtracting a negative, we're actually going to move to the right 5 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll end up at 6. So you can see that 1 minus -5 would just be the same thing as 1 plus 5, which would give us 6. So those 2 negatives right next to each other is the same as a plus. Our last question is -8 minus -1. So we're going to start down here at -8. Again, if we were subtracting, we'd usually be going to the left, but because we're subtracting a negative, that's going to turn us around, and we're going to go 1 place to the right instead, which would give us -7. So you can see again that that would be the same as -8, and that minus being the same as a plus, because -8 plus 1 would give us -7. So that's having a look at adding and subtracting integers without a calculator.